Hey, we just saw a movie. That's right. Michelle's yawning. I fake yawned, and she real yawned.
That means I'm not a psychopath.
So what are you saying about me?
Nothing about you. I'm just saying I'm not a psychopath.
Why? Well, anything you say then reflects on me. Isn't that how most people think?
I don't know.
Oh, because you're moving to Florida? You think you're better than me?
I guess.
Actually, it wouldn't be better for you to move to Florida.
Sorry,
right
Florida.
now. Sorry, Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, Vegas.
What did Vegas do?
Vegas allegedly is opening back up while we were doing other stuff.
Oh, like the
There
casinos
was something
and everything?
happening in Vegas, yeah. While we were playing Jackbox with the fam.
Family game night via Zoom.
Fam game.
Zoom
sponsored
game
by
night.
Zoom. That's right. If you want to watch your family and some random dude show up with no pants on, go to Zoom.
Zoom.
Where random old guys with no pants show up.
Zoom.
Where young guys with no pants show up.
Zoom.
Where don't have your children in there by themselves.
How many more you got? Zoom.
I don't know. Call the FBI. So yeah, we're here again, another week. We've been doing it week to week since February. You know, even more days. Last week we did 7 episodes.
This podcast has been around longer than this quarantine. So
That's right.
Take that.
That's going to be our tagline. We have lasted longer than the quarantine and have killed no one. That's a long tagline,
So
but
we
it can
win.
fit. It can fit on a shirt.
Did we already do the thing? You
What
already
thing?
did the thing. The hey, we just saw a movie.
Where were you?
I was yawning.
That's how I started. I
Oh,
started it with a
okay.
yawn. I said, "Hey,
Oh.
hey, hey, are
We
you gonna
usually do
yawn
it
again?"
together, so I
Well,
didn't know.
I didn't know what you were doing. You were
Okay.
over there yawning.
Sorry.
You gotta get with the program,
All
man.
right.
Just like people with the podcast. Download
We
the
didn't
podcast.
do a proper intro, is all.
You want to do a proper intro?
I do. I
You
feel
do?
left out, and we have to say our names.
Oh my goodness, couples counseling over here.
You know, I saw
Speaking
that on
about-
Facebook.
Speaking about couples counseling, watch it on Showtime. What did
Yeah.
you see on Facebook?
I saw on Facebook that said something about having troubles with your marriage in the quarantine. We're having a marriage class this weekend.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
onto
I saw
Zoom
that.
or whatever.
At
and
church,
you
yeah.
can get, it's like
In
a church.
Colorado or something like
Something, yeah.
that. Yeah.
Church marriage.
All right. To fix our marriage, we'll restart the episode just for you.
Hey.
We're already like 3 minutes in, but
We'll just put this.
this isn't an episode of Modern Family where they do a whole big setup and then
What's the other show we're watching?
What's
What's the other show we're watching where they have like the longest lead in ever?
I don't remember.
Is it Sinner?
There's a bunch of shows do that now.
Oh,
They
okay.
both have a lot yeah, they all
It
do it.
was something, and then all of a sudden, I felt like we were in the middle of the episode, and then all of a sudden, it was like the intro music.
You're like,
Oh, what?
Zuh?
Yeah, exactly.
Zoinks.
Zah.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, a 2, 3.
Hey.
Hey. We just saw a movie, and that movie was Jumanji. The next level.
Yeah,
We saw Jumanji the next
we
level.
did. This is Michelle, and that's Josh.
More couples counseling. I can say my own name.
Okay, fine.
I know who I be.
Fine. I'm Michelle.
I'm Stefan from the Deftones. I play a 98 string guitar.
When I step on your foot.
Hello, Mr. Thompson. Hello. So yeah, we have a new segment, and we fought over it. More couples counseling. We need more couples counseling. We fought over.
Can I just say real quick?
Are you gonna say what yours was? That's not fair.
No. No. I was just gonna say, we're fine. We're good.
Are we?
I was about to say I'm happy to be quarantined with you, but that's not right. Nobody's happy to be quarantined.
I'm so happy we're both buried in this box together.
But I should say, what's the movie thing to say? It would be I wouldn't want to be quarantined with anyone else.
This quarantine makes me want to be a better man. So yeah, our new segment. A Other things we've watched. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Which is really just what we usually talk about. We've just given it a name now.
Yeah, we've learned that podcasts should have like
They have segments. And little
Yeah.
ditties.
Podcasts are like worms. They need
Huh?
segments, multiple hearts, few anuses. You know,
If you cut them into segments, do they grow more? Oh, they do.
More.
That would be a spin-off.
they spin off
If you
podcasts.
cut off the segment and it grows another whole show around
My
it.
favorite non-murderer. Shout out to Georgia. She told us years ago we should start a podcast, and we did. I don't
Years
know if
ago,
she's
we
ever,
finally did.
Yeah, I don't know if she's ever listened. But we've been watching a couple of things.
Ooh,
What
we watched The Wedding Year, finally.
we did. With,
Not that you knew about it, so it's not really finally for you.
I saw the picture.
But I knew about this movie a long time ago because I follow Sarah Hyland on Instagram.
Highland.
She does a lot of stories, and so quarantine makes me watch all the stories. I never
Yeah.
watched Instagram stories
I
before,
feel like
but now it's like it's my new hobby.
you're our niece now. I just
Why?
look over and you're just on Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Oh, that's our niece Janera.
I don't think
On
she
Instagram
does that
stories.
though.
No, she just stares silently
Yeah.
and has headphones on.
Yes,
Like,
headphones.
is she plotting to kill someone?
Right.
She's just very intense in her
Yeah.
stories.
Anyway, so
That's the new stories. Like grandma's watching her stories.
it
So,
is.
like, God, don't talk to me while I'm watching that Instagram.
You know, I gotta watch my
I
stories.
gotta watch my Instagram stories. My
But
IG
I gotta watch
stories.
them before they
I
disappear.
gotta watch the storygram. It's pretty much the same. You couldn't, unless you had a VHS player, you couldn't rewatch Guiding Light or whatever.
Oh, that's true.
That's very Texan of me. Guiding Light,
Guiding light.
not Guiding Light.
Guiding.
Guiding.
Nobody
Ninja
says it
Guiding
like
Light.
that.
Somebody does.
So anyway, we watched The Wedding Year. I had heard of this movie. I honestly didn't know if it was done because I don't know if Sarah Hyland ever covered that, or I didn't catch that story if she did. But I didn't know where it was, and I never bothered to Google it, I guess. And then I came across it randomly when we were flipping through Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
There it
I saw
was.
it on there like for a month.
And I said, "Hey, let's watch this."
And I said,
And you obliged.
that's like, sure.
You said, "I don't mind. If you want to watch this, we can watch
'cause
this."
I'm cool with Sarah Hyland.
Not
you know.
really your jam.
We get avocado toast from time to time. And the dude from Everybody Hates Chris, I've never known his name. And The Walking Dead and a bunch of
that's
other stuff.
right. I don't know his name.
Spoiler alert,
But
he
was
died.
He was on a show that I was watching.
I had a cat and it died. It died. Sorry, too many Simpsons references.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
It's because you're not in the
Sorry.
deep cuts
I guess not.
like bologna.
But this guy, who we can't remember his name, was on a TV show that I was watching, and it was no idea what it was. It was some like secret spy agency thing where they operated out of a bar, a closed down bar. And anyway, he was like the tech guy. And the season ended with him getting kidnapped. And then guess what happened?
It never got renewed.
Canceled.
Canceled. Canceled.
So as far as we know, his character is still out there somewhere being tortured.
That's right. Let that be a lesson to you,
Yeah.
computer nerds out there.
Anyway, Wedding Year. It was cute. You can give it a watch. We're not doing
Yeah,
anything
it was
else.
cool.
Might as well. It's not like
It was fun.
it was amazing, but it was
Yeah, it was
cute.
a fun. You know, you're quarantined.
Yeah.
You've already watched *Handmaid's Tale* and all the different shows, and you watched all your cannabis shows on Monday. Give it a watch.
I like how they pretended to be at LAX, but they're
Yeah.
really on top of the Grove parking garage.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What else did we see? Oh yeah, we've been watching Dave. Hi, I'm Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. That was stuck in my head for like a full week.
Who's
Hi, I'm
Dave? Gator is straight fire, bro. He dripping.
Gator.
I said
me.
Gator,
You
didn't I?
said Gator, like
Gator,
Gator.
with a hard R.
right with a hard R.
Yeah, Gator.
It's Gator.
Gator. Yeah, his character is by far the best.
Yeah.
The show, I didn't think the show was gonna. I thought I was gonna watch it, I was gonna watch it. Then you were interested in watching it, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be way too like masculine for her.
You thought I was gonna drop out after.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you can watch this by yourself.
Right.
I thought it was just gonna be like, hey, look at my balls, you know, like that type
Right.
of stuff the whole time. But it's gotten into some
Which
really
the first couple
feelsy,
episodes it was.
but it was still getting into some feelsy stuff while
Yes,
it was
but
doing
not
that.
as much. At first,
Yeah.
it was very much like frat boy humor, kind of, but maybe elevated frat boy
Elevated.
humor. I don't know.
It's like we like cargo shorts,
Right.
but made out of the nicest cashmere.
So, but then it started getting real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gata is my faves.
Gata is
I
my
heart Gata.
dog. Yeah. So yeah, that show's been really good. And then what else are we watching? Oh, we just started Sinner yesterday.
Yep. I think we're couple 3.
You fell asleep to the 4th one, I
I
think.
did, and you wouldn't tell me what happened.
There's a lot of stuff. You fall asleep, and then I'm like, a lot of stuff happened, man. It's not like we're
just like-
watching Friends.
No, but you just feel like he ran into the street. Then this happened. Just bullet points. Just get me to where we
There was
are when
just
I
a
wake
lot
up.
of stuff. Like, when you binge watch a show, it's really hard to even remember what happened in that episode. You just kind of know. And since they're going back and forth in time so much, you're just like,
It's fine. This show
hey.
does a really long recap at the beginning, so I'll pick it up when we watch the next episode.
Good.
It's fine.
Good.
Couples counseling.
Now you won't complain.
Oh, I'll probably still complain, but I will.
You'll pull a full Karen on me.
It doesn't matter because you refuse to tell me what happened.
Refuse.
You absolutely refuse.
And I blow smoke out of my nose.
You literally do. You refuse.
Literally. That's me. Yeah, so that's what.
That's what else we're watching.
The other things we've been watching.
Yes. Segment.
Let's get into Jumanji.
Yeah.
Wait.
Boom, 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 boom.
What's that?
Boom, boom.
I thought they destroyed the game.
Boom, 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 boom. Wait, now it's a video game? What the heck? It's an Atari? How do I fix this?
So, yeah, we watched Jumanji The Next Level, which I didn't get the reference at first, which is very sad because I've been playing video games since 1985.
You didn't get that it was a video game reference?
I don't know why. I thought that, because The Rock's in it, I thought it was like, take it to another level, like the extreme.
But The Rock was in the other one.
I know, but when I just think of
all
The Rock,
same people.
I think of sports and fighting and all that. So I thought,
did you think it was leveled up because it had Danny DeVito?
I thought it was leveled up. I thought it was also kind of like a play on words, how movies add more characters, like Lethal Weapon. Like, oh, let's add Pesci, and let's add Chris Rock, and let's add this person. So I thought it was kind of like that. There was going to be more action, more people, more hijinks. But I didn't think, oh, it's just going to be like a video game, the next level, literally.
Hey, since we're talking about the video game, did they explain how the game became a video game?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I can't remember. If you want, guys, shoot us a message or leave us a comment. Did they say this? I mean, I know I could Google this right now or when we get done recording, but
we're lazy.
Yeah, I probably won't. So, yeah, that just dawned on me. So, at some point, it was a board game, and then it became a video game.
My other question is, how did they get into the game the second time? And how did he put the game back together? Was he nerdy enough to know how to do that?
Yes.
Okay. And then, but if the game's all wonky, how did it even
Well, that's why it was all messed up when they got sucked in.
What was all messed up? I can't remember.
Because remember, they were like, wait, we didn't even choose players. And it just pulled those two. And then somehow it got the old men upstairs in the game and it skipped Bethany altogether.
I think that was the thing.
Yeah,
how did it randomly choose people? And then how did the game not completely glitch? Because if I remember any Nintendo game thoroughly, you could barely get past the first player, second player screen. It's just like,
right. Well, I mean, it is a magic, so we have to suspend a lot of reality here.
It's magic. You know. That's true. You always have to kind of suspend disbelief, especially when The Rock is in it.
Suspend disbelief.
Suspend disbelief?
Yeah.
Circumvent the globe?
Yeah.
That was the kind of thing I was like, okay, so how is this game working when it's extremely broken? Like, if I was him, I would wait until the game was completely working and put back together. But for some reason, he's like, nah, I'm going to go in there and chance it. Because if anything, it could have shorted out and he just got stuck in the game.
Well, yeah, he wasn't in a good space.
No.
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Are we?
Yes.
We can go whichever direction we want. Roads, where we're going, we don't need any roads.
We're not talking about that movie right
One
now.
day we will.
One day we will. No, we need to back up and read the synopsis because
Skirt.
this is how we start. We read the synopsis, Joshua.
Ooh, look at you. Read
Okay.
the synopsis.
All right. This is what IMDb says. The gang is back, but the game has changed. As they return to Jumanji to rescue one of their own, they discover that nothing is as they expect. The players will have to brave parts unknown and unexplored, from the arid deserts to the snowy mountains, in order to escape the world's most dangerous game. Well done.
Thank you.
Nice.
I'm available for movie scores, vocals only.
Yeah.
I will not do MIDI production and
You're not
all
going to
that.
use one button of your
Nope.
studio.
I'm not
None
hiring any string players. It's all mouth. Oof. Let's
of that.
keep moving.
All right. So I think that's a pretty good synopsis. I mean, pretty kind of vague, but it is this.
Well,
You know,
you
they're
gotta.
always vague because they can't tell you everything.
What would your synopsis be?
But so here's. No, I like this one. Okay.
I don't have a
okay.
synopsis.
Let's see. Here's my synopsis. Is sad boy lied to his friends.
Was this a haiku? Sad boy lied to his friends. And then he.
Sad boy lied to his friends and resurrected the dangerous game he said he destroyed. Brought back into this game of peril,
What is
he
this?
brings his friends with him
Are you?
as they have
Are you
to
in front of
rescue
a
him.
fire telling a story?
I mean, he was sad. You know what? When he went in, when he was sad, and then he went in the game, and they had to rescue him. You know, my first thought was, he's gonna Luke Skywalker this thing.
He thought so. He was just gonna complain
Mm-hmm.
and kiss his sister.
Cause trouble. Yeah.
I don't think he did that too much.
No, just the whole instigating of the problem. You know, you need the catalyst
That's right.
for the problem. So
right. I would say, I don't remember people's names. Peter? Sure.
Peter. Who the heck is Peter?
Dinklage? I don't know.
No.
Whatever
Are you
his
talking
name
about
is.
the main guy?
The kid.
Spencer.
Spencer realizes college isn't as cracked up to be as it is as cracked up as it is to be.
Sure. One of those.
One of those. Take the words and rearrange them. And his love is on the rocks. And in a desperate attempt to be the man he used to be and to kind of regain the relationship he wanted, he goes back into the game of Jumanji, only to find out that the game has more tricks up his sleeve. Its sleeve? Yeah.
Tricks.
I'll edit it in post.
Should I do the boom boom for you?
No,
Boom,
you'll
boom,
just confuse
boom,
me.
Boom, 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 boom.
You can- His friends then go into the game to help him out, and
Hijinks ensue.
I always put into something hilarity or hijinks ensue. Yeah, I just think the big thing was the game had more. That's what I would probably play up. The game has more tricks for them, more things to throw at them.
All right, so one big difference in this movie is that Grandpa Eddie and Milo get sucked into the game instead of Bethany. She gets left standing in the basement, like wondering what's going on. But Milo and Eddie get sucked in, which when they said their names together like that, I immediately pictured the cat and the dog. Was it like Milo and Otis?
I thought of Malcolm and Eddie.
Or Malcolm and Eddie. Yeah. But at first I completely forgot that they weren't going to be involved in this movie. I can't remember if I knew that from the previews or not, but I completely forgot. And I was like, oh yeah, they're really funny. And then they get sucked into the game, and then The Rock becomes Danny DeVito, and I did not know how I felt about that at first.
Or really Danny DeVito becomes The Rock.
No.
The Rock was the character. and then Danny DeVito's character becomes
Okay.
that
Danny
character.
DeVito gets transported into The Rock, but The Rock himself has to
Right.
become
The
Danny
actor has
DeVito.
to sound like Danny DeVito.
Right. And at first, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I couldn't tell if it was going to be really annoying for the whole movie or if I was just going to get used to it and it was going to be fine.
So what ended up happening?
I got used to it and it was fine.
You got used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
How did you feel about this whole?
I didn't get used to
You
it.
didn't like it?
Mm-mm.
It was not my favorite.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
absolutely
as
horrible.
like fingernails on the chalkboard as it was at the beginning. I think I just was like, just accepted it.
It definitely wasn't Angelina Jolie playing a weak character type weird, but it was definitely kind of like, this is a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just needed to hang out with more East Coasty,
more DeVito.
Old dudes.
You just need to spend more time with DeVito. But I did like.
I think the thing is his. I don't know how he can raise his voice. I know his voice goes higher, but he doesn't have the rasp. And he can't produce I've never heard him produce raspy voice, and I've never heard him really do high voices either.
I was very aware that it was The Rock doing an impression.
Right.
I did not ever fall into that.
The gap.
Yeah. But what's his face? Milo, Danny Glover, goes into
Otis.
Kevin Hart. What? Blanked on his name completely.
Oh, the actor's name.
Yeah. Okay. So Danny Glover's character Milo gets transported into the game and then becomes Kevin Hart's character, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
But he becomes the animal guy, the zoologist.
Yeah.
And then now Kevin Hart is embodying Danny Glover, essentially. And I loved that.
That was really good.
I thought he was really good. And that made me laugh. Like all of his scenes made me laugh.
I think there's a couple of things to that. Kevin Hart's had to do voices and all that. So he's a comedian, so he has to do that. I think also he's black. They're both black. So there's kind of that, I'll do an old black man's voice. I can get that and then tweak it a little bit. And there's that. And then also like Danny Glover's, he also has like kind of a voice that you've heard before.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit, like Danny DeVito's voice is not difficult. If you want to like knock it out of the park, it can be a little bit difficult depending on your vocal range. But yeah, Danny Glover DeVito. It's a little bit different. So yeah, but I think he also did the mannerisms really well.
That was the more of the thing too, is they really didn't need to try for the voice because they were in these other bodies. So they could just have their own voice.
Right.
But they needed to embody the mannerisms and all the way of speaking.
That's true. They didn't even need to speak like them. They just needed the mannerisms.
Which I think Kevin Hart did much better
Are those aneurysms for men? Mannerisms?
Mannerisms.
No, yeah. Because he would do like the faces, and that's the other thing. That's what Kevin Hart does.
Slow.
He does faces and all that
yeah.
stuff. It's just comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really, really, really good. Also, another thing that I liked going with that is Awkwafina doing Danny DeVito. Hers was hers was just a different version.
Yeah.
It's like the different Barack Obamas on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Like, the different people who've done Barack Obama. But they were all good. So
speaking of Awkwafina, though, I didn't even, and people I didn't know, I forgot was in this movie. I had no idea Awkwafina was in this movie. I don't remember seeing her advertised anywhere. It
was like you ate a cake and you're like, oh snap, there's lemon in the middle.
Right.
There's lemon in this?
It was a pleasant surprise. I loved it when she showed up. I was like, oh, hi, snap, Awkwafina.
Yeah. It was kind of also slightly unfair for her too, because she's from New York. She's from Queens. Yeah, she's not a stand-up comedian, I don't think. She's like a character comedian.
Right.
But she's from New York. She's heard that voice so many times.
Yeah, it's easier for her.
Where, I forgot where the Rock's from, but
the land of giants.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Pacific somewhere.
Yeah. Okay,
Aquarium of the Pacific. That's where he's from.
Since we're kind of talking about voices, what about Jack Black's version of Fridge of the high schooler or college kid?
I felt like Jack Black was channeling Who's the guy who played Iron Man?
Robert Downey Jr.
There we go. All right. So yeah, Jack Black reminded me of Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. That's what he reminded me of the whole time. He was like, "What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?" But it was funny. I liked it. I think I couldn't remember what Fridge sounded like,
Yeah, so I think
so I was
that
like,
he seemed like he was that way a little bit, but I think Jack Black
like upped it.
upped it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think, but Fridge was in an upset state, so maybe he gets that upset. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I think Jack Black kind of
Yeah.
pushed it to
He-
11.
yeah. He did the classic like Hollywood shuffle when he goes to audition to play like a drug dealer or something, and then the white executives are like, "Can you black it up a little bit?" Like I feel like that's how Jack Black was. But to his credit, he did play up the chick a lot too, because the thing is we didn't watch the first one again before we watched this one, so there wasn't much time with Fridge. And then when we didn't know him, he was playing the girl, and when he played the girl, he kind of played her over the top too. So it's probably just Jack Black.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just Jack Black. Yeah.
I've known of Jack Black for like, I don't know, like 25, almost 30 years. So he's always been larger than life.
Over the top.
So, it's still kind of funny, like when you think of it like in a Twitter situation.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, people are gonna be kind of like weird about this, but
I think he did fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the whole the characters got switched up. I thought that was a nice twist
yeah.
for this movie, so it wasn't just same old thing. So I liked seeing Jack Black throw a fit about being Jack Black, basically. Like he didn't want to be in his body and was mad that he wasn't strong and able to fight and run and do a push-up.
They were like, Jack, just do what you do when you see yourself in the mirror. It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like I always think back to when they were writing jokes about the guy who played Jonah on Veep. And they were like, you're literally talking about his actual body.
Right.
But yeah, the swap was cool. Because I can't remember what games would do this, but I feel like there were games that I did that and my brother would like take the better character from me. And then you end up mad.
See. Like Mortal Kombat or something?
No, not Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I don't. It's the only game.
That's when you pick. Yeah.
With characters.
You're like NES ice hockey? Like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. No, it was like some sort of thing. I don't even remember, but it was some sort of thing like that where one player could just swap, and then you're like, ah, crap. Exactly what happened in the movie. Like, I'm the guy who's allergic. What was it? Weakness is sand, sun, and
oh gosh, yeah.
And I was like, they're in the desert. This is really not.
He's gonna die.
That fun of weaknesses to have.
Yeah. So Fridge last time was Kevin Hart, and then this time he was Jack Black. Ruby, what's her face? The girl
Ruby
stayed
Roundhouse.
the same one. Yeah, she was still
The redheaded girl.
Yeah. And then Spencer was already in the game, so Danny
Mr.
DeVito
Spence.
became The Rock, and Milo became Kevin Hart, which we already said. Was there another? That was it, right? Just 4 of them?
There was 4 of them at first.
Yeah, and then later they recruited the original guy, which I don't know how she talked him into coming back in. That's stupid. That's like divorce.
There would have to be
marriage counseling.
There would have to be. That's the thing I was thinking. I was like, did he talk to his wife before he did this?
Yeah, Josh said that. He goes, wait a minute. Did he talk to his wife?
I was like, it's like, I've been married a long time, and I know you need to talk to your wife before you do stuff like that.
Yeah, so when they jump back in the game, he becomes Jonas again. He gets to be the same character.
I'm not a Jonas. I use my cojones.
Is that a line from something? You just came up with that?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
On to the next one. On to the next one.
Is that a Jonas dig?
That is a Jonas dig.
Okay.
He was saying they were virgins. But in the Jonas Brothers movie, they were like,
okay.
At the time, we were not. So in your face, Jay-Z.
No.
Take that, rich man.
And then Bethany became the horse, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the character swap. I think my favorite bits were definitely Kevin Hart as Milo and their whole getting acclimated to being in a video game and not really understand what was going on and all that. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, like I think there's a thing to really credit Kevin Hart with. And I think The Rock too. Like they both are box office people.
Oh, for sure.
in a way that I guess they're the new box office people, where Tom Cruise and Will Smith and them were usually they were well, I guess Will Smith was kind of funny, but they were more like action and more like I'm a solo man doing everything and I have no team really, except for Mission Impossible. But like these new guys, they're multifaceted. They are tongue in cheek with themselves. Like I don't know too many times where Tom Cruise's characters were very human in a way,
Mm.
whereas both The Rock and Kevin Hart they play up their strengths and their weaknesses to the
Right.
audience,
Yeah.
and they use that kind of in the old model of transferring that from character to character, even in Denzel as well. Like you know who Denzel is. He's gonna be Denzel in every movie.
Right.
Slight variations, but Kevin Hart and The Rock have not only proven themselves to do that type of stuff in a new way, in a different way, but they've been able to, yeah, just kind of like do it in a different way that than Hollywood had comedic actors or action actors and the box office numbers to kind of like prove that
Hmm.
playing not just the hero saving the day, lone wolf saving the day type situation. So
Right.
I think that's kind
Like
of
you need
cool.
help, and they play that up.
But I think that's kind of cool because this movie is a great movie, but it's also not like an edgy, rated R,
Right.
bloody gore
Right.
film.
Right.
So
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I had low expectations for the first one.
yes,
Did not think I was gonna. I think we were more of like we were just going to see it because we thought it'd be funny to go see it.
I thought it would be like Land of the Lost. Remember we watched that in
Mm.
like 2010 or something. I thought it was gonna be like a Jumanji version of
Like
Land of the Lost.
cheesy. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I
like
really enjoyed it.
yeah,
So then going into this one, I thought, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll like it, maybe," but it could also end up cheesy and not as good. But I
right.
really like this one.
I had lower expectations for this
Yeah.
one than I did the first one.
But I was happy it rose up. I like this one.
I literally only watched this movie for you, the listener, because I care. Josh Cares 2020. That's really.
Is this one better than the first one? I can't
Mm,
remember.
I don't know if it's better. I'd have to watch the first one again, but it's more complex than the first one, which
Mhm.
makes it somewhat good, better, somewhat not. Sometimes when you make it more complex, it's just kind of like, whoa. I didn't completely feel that with this one, but I'd have to see the first one to be able to go, yeah, this was a little bit much.
I guess it
Or,
was different. It had a different vibe because the first one was about they'd never been there before, so they were learning the game and they
right.
kept learning like all the little rules and tricks and things of the game. So this one they had that all figured out, so that whole piece of it wasn't so much a part of the storyline. This was more like characters, based on the characters
Yeah.
and what they needed and what they were doing.
Well, it was a rescue mission and then characters. But I think, well, the thing is the two new people. They had the older people, well, the younger older people.
Right.
The kids had to get the older people acclimated because they kept thinking that this wasn't a game and they were in a fever dream or some sort of weird
He
thing.
kept thinking he was dead.
Yeah. So I think that was the thing, and that's a common thing that movies will do, like bringing a new character and the person's like, I thought we filled out paperwork. It's like, nah, we just shoot first and then figure it out later, or whatever. So I think, that kind of was the same. And I think that's good. Like I feel like everyone to a degree likes an origin story. So if you do a second movie, some of that luster is lost. But if you bring in new, that's why you have babies on TV shows.
Right.
Like season 4, it's like I'm having a baby,
Right.
and it just kind of like respawns everything for you.
So did you have any favorite scenes?
I had some favorite one-liners.
Yeah.
Um,
What?
what was the one? Where did he say when the horns went off or whatever? And he goes, "That's my life alert."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty good."
Yeah,
And
the
then,
chiming. It's my life alert. It's time
yeah,
to take my pills.
I was like, yes, he said. And then the one where he said, maybe the smoldering was a sign of upset stomach. Did they say that, or is that something I thought?
Oh, I can't remember. I feel like that's something he would say.
Maybe that was
I
said,
just
or
can't remember.
maybe I tagged it.
Yeah, you may have said that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool one-liners. I think the scene, I didn't necessarily like it or not like it. It was just very troubling to me because in a game, this is one of the worst levels or parts of a level when the bridge, the rope bridge became multiple rope bridges
Oh
with
man.
baboons on it.
Yeah, the monkeys
It
and
felt
the
like I was playing Aladdin on Sega
it
Genesis
looked
all
like
over
it was
again.
hard enough with just the moving bridges, and then all the monkeys showed up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I was just thinking this would be a horrible level. This would just, and if you had 3 lives, or actually at that time they had like 1
I
life.
think they were all down to like 1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah, I think at that time I think everyone was down to 1 because I think that's what made it so
Well,
insane.
she got to 1 because she actually died on the
Yeah,
bridge, and then
yeah,
she came
maybe
back.
yeah. Everybody
So that got her to
had
1.
started with some people started with
Right.
2, and then everybody ended at the end
Right,
had
so then
1
it became
life.
a lot more perilous.
You got 1 life to live. If you're older than 25, you know that song. Daytime soaps.
Daytime.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
1 life to live.
What show was I just thinking about?
I have no idea, but
What's
my
the one?
grandmother watched all them stupid things.
Life goes on. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Life goes on. La, da, 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 life goes on.
Oh yeah, I don't really remember, but I remember. So yeah, the baboon scene. Yeah, I don't have like a favorite scene. I had thoughts about certain scenes, like in the castle when they were doing those fight scenes. Ruby Roundhouse or whatever her
Mm-hmm.
name is. Look at me, I remember the name. It was interesting because
Those
thank
are your
you.
snaps.
She a lot of the moves looked like the same moves from Birds of Prey, and I was thinking,
Oh.
is that the same stunt person? Because she did.
Oh.
Because I even said that about Birds of Prey. Like it's really popular right now because the ladies like jump on the dude, like
Oh, like
legs
crotch
around
face?
around their
Yeah.
head, and then like kind of twirl them to the ground.
Yeah.
And that happened a ton in Birds and Prey, and that happened a ton in this. And I was just thinking, that could be the same stunt person. I didn't look it
think of
up,
that.
but maybe
I
it's just a thing. It's kind of like when you take a hip hop class. It's like there's things that are gonna be
the same.
kind of the same because that's
Yeah,
what's
like same
popular.
moves. Yeah, like the trendy fight
Yeah.
scenes.
Like Supreme shirts or
Yeah.
something Supreme.
I thought you were gonna actually bring up the part where maybe this was where Fridge got to be Ruby Roundhouse for a second, and he was like trying out all the moves, and
Oh,
he kept jumping and kicking, and he looked exactly like they do when you have a
Right.
character in a video game. You're trying to figure out your moves, and you just keep doing the same thing over and over.
It's like, okay,
I
I
thought that
could
was
kick,
pretty
I
funny.
could do this. Okay, where's my power move? Power
Right.
move? Do I have a power move? What's
Yeah,
my power
but he
move?
just kept doing that side kick.
Yeah. It was very that was very
was funny.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Very your virtual fighter. Yeah, those are the ones that I thought, I had some interesting thoughts
Well,
on.
I loved it when Awkwafina showed up, obviously, because for one, that was a nice little surprise, and then two, I love Awkwafina, but then also that was a good scene. She was a cat burglar or whatever. We were learning about her, but then I just remembered there was a whole other thing that I was actually trying to get to. That was not Awkwafina. It was the lady from Devious Maids, and she was the flame.
Mr. Spence.
Mr. Spence. And so
Heroes. She bled.
her eyeballs turned black.
Her eyes turned black. Did she bleed out of her eyes, or did she bleed black Texas tea?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think she killed people.
That show petered very quickly.
Yeah. So anyway, they were supposed to follow the flame. And so anyway, then they realized it was
Yoga Flame?
No, then they realized it was the ex-girlfriend meant flame. And so she was like kind of the classic character. Like we've been playing Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
You more than me, but I am learning this game.
Neither of us mainly right
And
now, but
you come across characters and you run up to them and you hit A so you can talk to them. And then they say like only a few things. So anyway, so this flame character was like that. So they follow her and he's having this whole conversation with The Rock and her, and that's his ex-girlfriend, and she's like, "Oh, I love you, but no, you can't. My husband will find out," and blah blah blah. And then he's like, he asked her a question, and then she just started all over. I was like, "Oh, I love you," da, 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 da. And they have this big dramatic kiss, and she's like, "No, you mustn't follow me." And then of course they follow her because that was the thing. But I just I love that whole. I liked all the little video game elements that were in there because there was a whole like most of the storyline, they're in a video game, but it's really like they were transported into a world
Yeah.
and that functions and goes on and all this stuff. And so I like the little video game elements that were dropped in. And so she was one of them. Her and then the guy, what's his name? Nigel, who just says the same things over and over.
Yeah, Nigel's great. Nigel's
Yeah,
a great character.
Nigel's awesome.
What is he? NPC?
Non
Because that's what they said.
player.
I was like, an NPC?
But it was,
Non-playable character.
yeah, NPC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not mom-playable
Right,
character.
right. But yeah, I loved that scene.
Yeah, I think the gamification that they did was really funny. Like when, oh yeah, that's how they found Ming. That he goes, she takes off with the thing, and the guy goes, thief. And then
Oh, yeah, he stops her.
the grandpa playing Spencer goes, hey, you, wait, and just grabs her. He's like, there's the thief right there. So she gets her head chopped off.
He throws an axe at her
Oh,
and she
and
explodes.
Right. And then she respawns outside of the building.
Yeah.
So it's just like when you're playing a game and you do something wrong, then it spawns you back a little bit and you go, okay, well, I'm just not going to go in there right now.
Right. Just
You
don't do that again.
Just go somewhere else. So I thought that was kind of funny. There's a lot of little game jokes in there.
And then when Grandpa figured out as the Rock that he could smash the crap out of people and just like punched people through walls.
Oh yeah, because some of the people were walking by and saying program stuff like "my man."
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Maybe there's an award for commercials with apples. Yes. Yeah, that was all that kind of stuff was really fun. Yeah, I love Nigel and the devious
And
maids
the
lady.
zoologist talking to animals, that was a new power, right? Yeah, it was because it
that
said
fit the
linguistics
character.
and they
Yeah.
didn't understand what that meant at first. They thought, oh, he
Right.
just spoke languages, but then it turned out he could talk to the animals, which became clutch in the end. They really set up a lot of stuff
Yeah.
throughout the movie. So he was able to talk to animals, which meant he could talk to Milo in the end when Milo became the horse,
Mm-hmm.
and they could have a whole goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.
But then also the whole switcheroo in the water. And when they all broke it down later and they were like, wait a minute, that's that same glowy water.
Oh,
You know,
when
and then they
did
were
their
like,
main switcheroo,
right, and they were
in
like,
the movie.
you talk too slow to be the zoologist guy. You need to switch and become somebody else. And they kind of worked that all out. And then all the people and the horse jumped into the
Right.
water, which I thought
And
was great.
and even the berry or whatever. I don't remember when he got that berry.
Oh yeah, that weighed 100 pounds and
Yeah. Oh no, they got that from
They got that from the tree.
The tree in the switcheroo, the first
Water,
switcheroo
yeah.
water.
figured all that
So
out.
yeah, after finding out, weaknesses and powers, the Jack Black's character had geometry, which was new, and then
Yeah.
what's his name had linguistics.
Mhm.
I forgot what everybody else had. I think some weaknesses
I think they all had
changed.
something new, but it wasn't like Roundhouse. I think she had nunchucks was her new thing.
Oh yeah, and then she saw somebody with nunchucks and then
took
grabbed
one
them
and
and
beat everybody up.
whipped everybody's
Yeah.
behind.
But it was funny too because that berry thing. So there was some things that I kind of figured out. I was like, oh, okay, I can see what's going to happen in the future. They're going to switch, blah blah blah. But then they had that berry, and at the end, when the bad guy saw the berry and he was like afraid of it, and he took off running.
You said Fuchs.
No.
Barry.
So
Fuchs.
So now
Anybody? Bueller.
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 Barry. Is Barry coming
Barry.
back soon?
I heard it's not like Barry, Succession are all like locked up because I don't think they started filming yet.
All right.
And the Friends reunion. I'm sorry, Michelle.
Something else is coming back soon. I just saw it.
I
can't
think
remember.
corporate's coming back.
No, maybe, but
They've been.
Dead to Me.
Oh yeah, I think they already.
That's
probably
coming back.
They probably already finished that.
Yeah. No, but this was like a classic thing I can't do when we're at the movie theaters. It got down to like the big boss fight.
Say, can you pause it? I gotta go pee.
No. When The Rock is chasing, okay, they've switched bodies and The Rock is now Spencer again. And so The Rock is chasing the big bad guy and he's got this berry and I keep yelling at the TV, eat the berry, eat the berry. That's how you'll fight this guy.
You thought he was a
'Cause he
a
was
gummy bear?
I thought he needed to eat it because it said when you're in peril, remember the seed. And I thought, okay, he's supposed to eat this fruit.
No,
And I was way
remember
wrong.
your son, your seed.
No. And I was way wrong. And then I felt bad for yelling at the TV.
You lost a lot
and
of
I
money
said,
on that one.
Pardon me, DVD. I apologize.
Mr. Dave Day.
Right. I really just had to smash it on the guy.
That's
that
right.
was his weakness. His weakness.
Yes.
That was the sound of touching my shoulder and the menu coming up.
You got to tell everybody what that was because nobody knew.
What would your player menu say?
I was going to ask you that. Like, what would your strength and weakness? But you beat me to it. Now I got to think first. I think I would try to be fast, not too fast. So in those games, you have the blocks, or at least back in the day, you had a certain number of blocks to build out your character. So I'd be a little bit fast. Fast would be top. Then I would have a little bit of good communication skills and problem solving. I think I would do that. And then my weaknesses is that I don't have any weaknesses.
That you care too much?
That I care too much, and I'm really devoted to this, to, really joining the team and making everything special here at Amazon Fulfillment Center with no mask. I don't know what my weakness would be. It's kind of hard to say.
I'm surprised.
I think my same weaknesses would be my weaknesses that I have now. Not able to eat a lot of food.
Oh.
I guess, tiredness.
Tired.
Not able to eat a lot of food.
I thought you were going to say your strengths would be, or your powers or whatever, would be something like sonic manipulate. You know what I mean? Like something with sound.
Oh, I didn't know we were going kind of Marvel with it. Like echolocation or something like that.
What? I'm just saying.
I was just thinking about like basic games, like how.
Well, yeah. All right.
Because this game was the first time that any of them had any insane powers. Like one of them became a flying horse. I'm like, that was a little bit higher than what I thought was going to be something.
Okay. Okay.
What would yours be?
I think I would just be Ruby Roundhouse. I liked her. I like her character.
You just steal that?
Yeah. I like to run around and kick people in the head and use nunchucks. That'd be cool.
Nunchucks.
I think it would be fun to be like a stunt person. And that's basically what she is. But she gets to actually hurt people and like defend herself and that kind of stuff. So that'd be cool. But then like also have the like logistical mind, like / cat burglar mind. Like what's her face? Like
so you want to be two people?
Just a super person.
Just a super person? You want to be a mutant?
No.
You want to be
you want to be multiple.
You want to be what was it?
What were her weaknesses? Was it I don't remember.
I don't remember. She didn't seem to exhibit much, whatever it was.
Maybe it was like Indiana Jones, like snakes or something. Like.
But didn't she release snakes?
I don't know.
I don't remember. We've seen so much TV and things. I'm like blurring different stuff.
You know what I've realized though? This more or less, falls into one of my favorite movie genres, which I'm realizing is the action comedy.
Action-com?
Mm-hmm. Or
as it's usually named?
Comedic.
Comedic
action movie.
That sounds like you're giving someone a medal, but you're also reprimanding them.
Oh, it also sort of sounds like a medical procedure.
Ooh, you're getting a comedic.
Yeah.
Because your comedy has no action.
Right.
We're removing it from you.
Yeah. So actually. Maybe not.
That's like when you do the when you were a kid and you did the banana fana fo fana and you did the wrong one. You're like bit bo bit banana fana. So hi mom. Oh no.
All right, maybe not. Okay, I have another question for you.
What's that?
Okay, so in the movie, what's his name? Milo is old. And he reveals that he's dying, like real Milo on the outside, is dying. And
Milo
so,
on the outside.
So he decides in the end that he doesn't want to go back. He wants to stay and be the Pegasus, stay and be the flying horse.
That's right. He wants to be mobile oil.
Two things with that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They can't destroy the game now because then he's right. Like Then he doesn't exist anymore anywhere.
Actually, they can't turn off the game, not even destroy the game. Well, I don't know what happens
Well,
to
it seems
characters when they're
though.
become RAM only, not
It
active.
seems that the game. Well, I guess they just turned it on and went to the next thing. Yeah. So anyway, that was not my question. My question was, would you stay in the game if you were my mom?
Never.
No? Even if you were going to come out and die an old man, you wouldn't want to stay and be the flying horse?
Look. No, I wouldn't stay in the video game. I do not believe in singularity or transcendence or transhumanarity or whatever, or Black Mirror type stuff. Because no matter what, you're going to die. It doesn't matter how.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, they'll just upload me to the cloud. What happens when the server crashes, when the server dies, when that company goes out of business, when they're sold to something else? And just like in that Black Mirror episode where that lady thought she was herself, but she was actually a chore thing inside of a box.
Oh, that's right.
So you never know. Think about it. Your data is being sold to who knows who, when, how, what, when. Now just think if your actual consciousness was data. What would happen then? I'd be like, hi, I'm Josh, and I'm here to talk to you about low interest mortgage. I don't know why I'm talking to you about this, but I've been forced to. And then, you're like being reprogrammed because you're trying to think for yourself. Like, no, I don't want that life.
I don't think he thought that far. I think he just didn't want to come back out.
He didn't think that far.
He just wanted to be a horse that flies until it stops.
I thought that far. Also, who wants to be a horse?
He does. He can fly.
He can fly, but people can still shoot him out of the ground. People can still chain him up. He was already chained up once before.
He did get caught.
He can't even unlock himself from a room.
He's still a horse.
You can't pick locks as a horse.
Right.
You can eat apples, but it's very hard to do anything with your mouth as a horse. So that's what I'm saying. It's just kind of, I know this world, and I know how this world works, and I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't need to learn
come back
some
out
other
and just
weird
deal with life.
Yeah, I'll just die in 6 months.
The thing is, also, I was thinking, we already established that his wife had died, but I was thinking, did he have kids? Like, is anybody going to miss him? There's no body. At first I thought, what are they going to do with his body? It's still in the kitchen, but I forgot everything gets sucked into the game. So he's just gone. Is anybody going to miss him?
I'm like, will there be
where was he living? Was he paying rent?
Yeah. Are they going to think his old business partner who had a falling out with him killed him?
Right.
This is a lot
creates the whole thing.
Yeah, he should have just, I guess he was a horse, so he couldn't have done it. He should have wrote a fake suicide note.
Or just like a note like, hey, I'm Brandon, I moved to Canada.
Yeah, but he couldn't have wrote it because he's a horse.
Well, right. Somebody could have.
But then that makes it worse. If somebody else writes it, then they realize it's not his handwriting, and then that person gets...
So they go to the river, they switch bodies, he writes his note, then he gets back in the horse, and then they go.
Back in the saddle again. Yeah. So what would you do? Would you go...
I don't know.
You don't know?
Maybe. I might stay and be the horse.
Be the horse?
I mean...
I'd be the ball, but not the horse.
If he stayed in this level where he fixed everything, as long as things didn't deteriorate, and then you're just a flying horse, and if the game gets shut off, well, then the game gets shut off. But it was sad that they reconnected after 15 years to rekindle their friendship or whatever. They didn't even get, that was it. Then he just stayed as a horse. So he didn't get to come back and have any more friendship with Danny DeVito in the real world. So that was kind of sad for Danny DeVito.
Yeah, it was definitely they had to wrap it up pretty quick.
But I called that one too, almost. I thought he was gonna somehow sacrifice himself to save everyone else because he was dying on the outside anyway. I thought it was gonna be more like that.
He thought it was gonna be Armageddon again.
Yeah. So I was kind of right. Either way, he was gonna stay in the game.
He saved the day, so that worked.
He did save the day. I like that scene too. I thought that was cute. The old guys, the newcomers, got to go save the day.
Yeah.
And have one big last hurrah together.
Right. Like Space Cowboys.
Sure.
You don't remember that movie?
Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was a bunch of old guys went to space.
Yeah.
That's one last
But
hurrah.
was that because they were all going to die?
One of them probably was.
Probably.
That's usually the situation when old guys are in a movie. One of them was
one
like,
of them, yeah.
I'm dying, Ted. I just wanted to let you know. Yeah, I think I like this movie because we watched this movie, or not this movie, watched this video that kind of talked about it, but I thought about it before I saw the movie. How this movie's about relationships and second chances in relationships and people's perceptions of relationships and really just kind of talking things out. Just having a sit down and you know, remembering the times you had and knowing that you could maybe do them again, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Because the kid realized he was kind of overthinking this whole thing. Just
Right. He
because
just
his
needed to
girlfriend
be
was having fun at college doesn't mean that he shouldn't be with her.
right.
And
What did Fridge learn?
Eddie
Nothing.
Eddie learned that his friend, really wanted to just do something else. It wasn't really about him. Just he wanted to spend time with his wife and be retired and not have to cook like he did for the last 35 years. And,
Right. They had the falling out because they owned a diner together,
right. So he
and
just was
he
like,
gave up on it because he wanted to retire.
yeah, he was
That's
just like,
fine.
I didn't want that life, and you wanted that life. That's cool, but I just couldn't do it, and I had to. What do people say? I had to live my best life and speak my truth.
Had to follow my truth. Had to follow my heart.
That's right. I had to get my crystals and orbs
Yeah.
in chakra. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I did like this other thing we learned watching a movie or watching
A movie.
watching a video about this movie, which I did not pick up on, was that Nora, the diner they kept meeting up at, was Nora from the original Jumanji, who was the aunt of the two kids. Once the parents died, then the aunt shows up to pick them up, and then the whole Jumanji thing happens. That's Nora that owns this diner that came in after Eddie and Milo shut down. And then Nora opened up, and it's a little breakfast spot. And then Eddie goes back, and at the end of the movie, I thought that was sweet. And he starts working at Nora's diner. So he goes back to work. He didn't want to be retired. And then he kind of smoldered. I thought that was cute. He smoldered at
Right.
at Nora.
It looked like he was angry. His smolder was very.
His smolder was odd, but she was with
She
with
knew
it.
what it was.
Yeah, she was
She was
taking
an
it.
old lady. She knew an old man's smolder.
Yeah. So it was the same lady from the first movie.
I wonder if he could have told Spencer could have told his mom that he was going into the game, because in the original Jumanji it wrecked the whole city. So I think anybody who possibly lived there knew about the Jumanji situation, or who moved there at least heard about it. Maybe I would think there would be some sort of like annual or something like remember Jumanji, or there's some sort of
Maybe it erased. Maybe did it reset once the game was over? Didn't it reset everything? Or no?
Good question. I don't remember.
Because in that case, then Eddie could talk to Nora about his whole experience.
Yeah, totally.
So maybe.
Well, he remember when Eddie went in, it didn't reset.
No.
Wait, which one's Eddie? I thought
Grandpa
Colin.
Eddie.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about I was gonna say Colin Jost. Colin Hanks's character. Because it didn't reset for him. He remembered everything.
Right, but I think the town reset because he went back to where he came out. He went back in time.
Oh, right. It's a
And he
time
got
traveling game.
So it adds a whole other level if we break it down, but maybe it resets everything. Like only you remember the game.
Possibly. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so since we're already talking about the original Jumanji, the after credit scene or mid credit scene or whatever it was with the
Winston?
Yeah. No. Yes. Winston.
What's his real name?
Don't know.
Is it Winston Zedmore?
I like him though.
Yeah, he's a great
When
a great
he
actor.
shows up, it makes me happy. I'm never
He's
mad
fun.
to see him.
He's
I'm
a
never
fun
like,
guy.
hate that guy. But yeah, Winston shows up and then presumably activates the game. And the kids are all meeting up at Nora's diner.
That sounds like a great tagline. Meet up at Nora's.
Meet up at Nora's. Have some cake or don't. And so
buy some food and just sit there and do your homework and waste seats.
Sit there and use a table for hours and hours and hours. But a bunch of ostrich.
Ostrich.
A bunch of ostriches run by. So that actually made me excited. I was like, "Oh, we're getting a new original Jumanji."
Jumanji.
So that's cool. if that's going to happen. I don't know why they would put that scene in there if it didn't. So boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, they got to keep the franchise going. It was released in theaters and made money, and I'm sure it's making money out, in the early home video delivery service thing they're doing.
Here's the interesting thing is I looked up the Rotten Tomatoes on all the movies, except for that one that we don't know anything about that apparently is the number 2. Yeah,
whatever.
we don't know about that movie. But the original
Zamunda.
Robin Williams, Jumanji, only got 54% tomatoes.
Yeah, it would be interesting to watch that movie again.
And 62% audience popcorn score. But these two movies basically have the exact same score as each other. So they have 76% tomatoes and then 87% audience score.
I think it's it's probably an age issue.
Probably because tomatoes didn't come around for a while.
Right.
So people watching it had to watch an old movie in order to review
They're
it.
20. They never saw the movie at
Right.
the time. Or even you just are in a different place. Like if I watched Jumanji now, I'd kind of be like, yeah, Robin Williams was kind of over there. Like if you watch Ace Ventura, like they were talking about on Neil Brennan's podcast, she's like, I rewatched Ace Ventura and I was like, oh my goodness, what is this?
I do kind of want to go back and watch the first Jumanji now.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then whatever that Zephyr movie or whatever, that Zathura or whatever that thing is.
Oh, Zephyr.
Whatever. They apparently go, it's Jumanji in space.
The makeup place. Yeah. So I think that's the reason why it's so low. Like people going and listening to like jazz from the 40s that aren't jazz people. They're like, what is this? That horn doesn't sound good at all.
But I'm glad they brought it back. I thought these were fun movies.
Yeah.
I liked them.
Oh yeah, one thing I was thinking was maybe Milo was a furry the whole time. That's why he wanted to become a horse.
But do furries want to be horses? I mean, furries?
Maybe. I don't have much furry knowledge. I could be offending furries right now. I have no idea.
That's true.
I just know some people like to dress up as animals, and I have no problem with that. I'm not gonna interact with you in a playful way.
Right.
But if you're in front of me at the 7-Eleven and you're dressed up as a horse, I'm like, that's cool. Just hurry up and buy your cigarettes or apples or whatever you're doing.
Keep your mask on and get out of the way.
Yeah, keep your mask on. Well, if they're wearing the horse head, then that's kind of a mask.
Fine. It's a mask.
Though when you cough, it may just come out your neck.
Right.
We don't want that. Don't cough out your neck. People with horse mask on.
Maybe I think he just wanted to fly.
Nah, he was a furry. It's obvious if you go back through the movie. That'd be funny if I make a video.
Many
I make a video like, see, he's a furry. Look here, and then this, and then
we didn't even know there was a horse majority of the way through the movie.
They're like, it was clues left the whole time. I'm like those really hard conservative Christians.
That's the way he was looking at all those monkeys chasing them and ostriches.
They'd look at the Little Mermaid and they're like just nitpicking every little thing.
Yeah. What was with those ostriches, by the way? They looked like they had scary dinosaur heads.
They were definitely dinosaur ostriches.
Ostriches.
They were from the Terracalius times. I just made that time up.
Did you?
Terracalius time period.
I would have never known.
Between the Sagittarius and the Yokohama time periods.
All right.
So yeah, Jumanji, certified
certified
green tomatoes.
Yeah.
Certified, we liked it.
I like that.
Go check it out at your local digital store. And remember the Alamo. Hey, we just saw movie.com. Hey, we just saw a movie. Instagram.
Follow, subscribe.
Patreon.
Give us some
Patreon.com.
Stars
$1.
and reviews.
Yeah.
And send us an
Share
email.
With your friends.
You can follow us on Instagram. Maybe you already said that.
I did already say that. So you don't listen to me.
I do listen. Couples counseling. What's coming up next?
What's coming up next? Saturday. I need to put the link together for live Groundhog Day. We're going to watch the movie 24 Hours Straight now. We're going to watch Groundhog Day.
We kind of figure we're all sort of living Groundhog Day a little bit. So
yeah, let's celebrate Groundhog Day.
We're going to watch Groundhog Day.
So I think that'll go to the Instagram. We'll let you know on the Instagram.
Yeah. Watch it, get refreshed on the movie, and then join us. for some
Yeah.
live chit chat.
5 o'clock or something like that. Cool, people.
All right. Stay safe.
Stay
Stay
safe.
home.
Stay home. If you're in Georgia, stay home still.
Yeah.
Don't trust no one. Don't trust anyone over the
Just
mask.
because they tell you you can leave your house doesn't mean you should.
Right. You can also go jet skiing with a horse.
Right.
But should you?
No.
Yes. Go jet skiing with a horse.
No.
They don't carry coronavirus.
I don't know. 2 cats got coronavirus in New York.
So now maybe it's all cats because there was a tiger and now cats. Maybe cats are the problem.
Okay.
There are no cats in America.
Okay. Bye.